And I think that is the cue for me to continue. So we are trying to make the recordings work in a smooth way, and that means that the moderator needs to know when to breathe. But we are now approaching the end of this day, but we have saved the most exciting piece to the end, which is the update from IAAP at the global level. So we have our inspiring managing director, Dr. Christopher Lee, with us today to give us an update on every exciting things that is, no, not everything, because we only have a short period of time, but some of the most important things that are happening. And I think you have a little bit of news for us today. So please, Christopher.
I'm gonna share my screen here if I can. All right, does everyone see my screen? Susanna, you see it?
Yes.
Okay, great. It's wonderful to be here today. I want to just start off by jumping in and saying thank you to Susanna. She's going to end this off in 30 minutes or so, and I know she's going to be remiss about thanking herself. So I want to just say up front, Susanna, you've done a phenomenal job through this process, and thank you. And I definitely also want to thank EDF for partnering with us on this. It's an incredible wealth of knowledge that has happened over the last several hours. So my name is Christopher Lee, and I am the managing director of IAAP. I've been here 3 years, a little over 3 years now, and I work with an incredible team. Some of them have been on throughout this morning, and I appreciate that. The exciting news that Susanna was talking about was the fact that we are bringing on Alberto Highlander, who's going to be our Europe membership sales representative. And this is an exciting time for us. We've been working on building our initiative. Our EU initiative is what Susanna and I call it. We're now saying it's more of a project. We're moving out of the initiative phase. And the first thing we've done is bring on someone to help us with membership sales and support in Europe. So I'm going to take a moment and have Alberto come online and introduce himself, and then we'll move forward.
Thank you so much, Christopher. I'm very happy to be here today and celebrate the second anniversary of the Web Accessibility Directive together with EDF. I would like to say hello to everybody. As you said, my name is Alberto Highlander. I'm the new project coordinator and sales representative for IAAP in the EU. As you mentioned, Christopher, I am responsible for supporting and expanding the IAAP EU initiative. And basically my role will include onboarding new members, educating them on IAAP benefits and certifications, and therefore strengthening the accessibility community in Europe. As we have all witnessed today through the program, the EU is taking the lead in the accessibility worldwide. And the IAAP wants to play a role in making the EU even more accessible for everyone. So I'm here for all your questions about IAAP in the EU, memberships, certifications, and you can find my contact information on IAAP website under team or region resources. So thank you so much for having me today here. Have a great weekend. And thank you so much for participating in today's celebration. Thank you, Christopher and Susanna.
Alberto, thank you very much. We are excited about having you on board. You are a new team member, which is pretty exciting for us. And so you'll be seeing more of Alberto and these events that we're hosting. And please reach out to me if you have any questions. So thank you very much, Alberto. One of the things that Susanna and team have worked on over the last, almost 2 years now that we really kicked off this initiative with IAAP is developing resources on our website. I remember 3 years ago being at Funka's Accessibility Day in Stockholm, and I had people come up to me during that event saying, we need more resources, we need a centralized place to put this. When is IAAP going to do that? And it took us a couple of years to do that, but we have done that. So what you see, and I'm going to ask Mal to stick this in the URL into the chat, is a direct link to a page on our website that we have started to populate over the last year or so with information that we are collecting, resources that we're collecting. So please take a look at it. We'll be updating it ongoingly. So all the information that you've seen, for example, with this event today, will be linked obviously to YouTube from this page. So do take some time. It's incredible amount of research as well as just resources. So do check it out. So I wanted to just give a little bit of an update on IAAP and what's going on. And I get a little excited and I talk kind of fast during this update because we are growing. And like a lot of other organizations that's dealing with accessibility, they're growing too. We're seeing definitely a shift right now with inclusion, and it's a pretty exciting time for us. Last year, our membership grew from an organizational standpoint 81%, and our individual membership grew. We have both organizational membership at 36%. So that's pretty crazy in regards to a growth rate, and we're seeing similar trends this year too. So we're really excited to see what happens. IAAP is part of another network, and we're a division of the Global Initiative for Inclusive ICT, Information Communication Technology. We're one of 4 divisions within G3 ICT, which is the acronym. And that deals with that. We deal with advocacy, we'll deal with policy, we deal with events, and we deal with training and certification. And throughout today, I've heard from Alejandro, from Anna, from other folks that we need more resources. We need more feet on the ground. And IAAP, one of our primary goals is to do professional certification, which I'll get into in just a second. But the other one is networking, and the other area that we do is professional certifications and the education. So those are the kind of the 3 primary areas that we move on. And we have a very diverse group of members. On the screen right now, it shows our industry sector members, and it goes from IT, government, education, telecommunication, healthcare, financial banking, AT, disability services, architecture, engineering, travel, tourism, retail, and so on. So as the lead organization in regards to accessibility certifications around the globe, we have to make sure that we are providing those industry sectors the benefits that they need in order to support the work they're doing with their employees as well as their customers. So we're doing a lot of great work, and one of the areas that we're doing is obviously expanding a global footprint, and Europe is one of those areas that we're doing that in. We've reached over 5,000 members. We are in 100 countries right now, and we have 7 chapters. So one of the ways that we do expand our footprint is around these chapters. And you heard earlier about from Godfrey about the Nordic chapter that we have. So that's one of the 7 that we've got going on. And just to drill down a little bit on the work that we do and some of the changes that we're seeing within IAAP because of the growth, is we're seeing that in our certification primarily. So we are being requested and asked to have different initiatives around developing modules on specific topic areas. And we're also being asked to actually look into, through developing business cases, additional certifications. And these are professional certifications, and they're not certificates. We bring in subject matter experts from around the globe. They help develop a body of knowledge and a job task analysis, and then we send that out to get feedback. So it's a very organic, big process that we use in order to come up with these professional certifications, and they're reviewed every 2 to 3 years, much like the body of knowledge too. So the boosting the skills is primary for us, and we do that through our accessibility professional certifications. We're also focused on upscaling diversity and inclusion, and we do that through the professional education that we do, webinar series, things like this event today. We've got courses, Open edX platform, and we collaborate with other organizations. So that's something that we really focus on. And then we do networking, and that was brought up earlier today. How do we communicate with each other? So as a member of IAAP, you get access to an online platform that you can ask questions and get answers pretty quickly. from subject matter experts or just people in the field that, that are learning about it. So we are definitely focused in these primary areas. In regards to the certifications, we've got some primary certifications out right now. We got our broad certification, which is the Certified Professional Accessibility Core Competency, otherwise known as CPAC. It's a mouthful, and it's broad. It covers disabilities, it's covered laws and governance, covers a little bit about universal design, a little bit about assistive technology, and then we also have the web accessibility specialist. And this is, you definitely need to have some knowledge. You have to be pre-qualified in a sense to actually go after this particular certification. You need to know coding, you know about assistive technologies used in regards to web design and so on. So that's another certification we have. We also have the ADS, which was launched last year, which is the Accessible Document Specialist. And it's heavily leans on PDF accessibility, but it also covers other document formats. We also have taken on over the last 2 years a built environment certification, and we actually inherited that from another organization out of Canada called Gates, and we've linked it closer to our other certifications and rebranded it. It does focus on the built environment. There's 3 levels to it, kind of a beginning, medium, and expert level. So there's 2 exams and then 1 profile exam in a sense that individuals can take. And then from an initiative standpoint, we've been asked to look at strategic leadership. So the last 2 years, we have been focused on looking at what does it take to be a strategic leader in accessibility. And we have a task force that's been working on that. So we're rolling out next year an initiative around strategic leadership. It won't be a professional certification, but it will be a strong body of knowledge, some education around it, and definitely looking at building a program around emerging leaders in accessibility, so more of a mentoring coaching approach. So we're pretty excited about that. And then we're also exploring not so much professional certifications, but modules and certificates around UX, around HR and procurement. So there's a lot happening with IAAP right now that we're pretty excited about. And we're really getting all this information, obviously, that's feeding us from our members. And currently we have a membership survey out there right now that we're collecting data on what our members want from us. And we're getting some really good stuff. And we feed that into our goals, our annual goals and strategic plan. So that's just a little bit of what's going on with IAAP right now. And I want to open it up for Q&A. And I know we had one question in there that I can jump in and answer, and then we can see what else jumps in.
Yeah, we had a couple from before. But the first one I think is about the IAAP certification setup. The Criterion website seems to be a poor example. So it does suggest that we aren't walking the talk. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of a challenging question from the audience. So I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, I'll dive in it. There's no professional testing center that's fully accessible right now. The 3 primary ones, Criterion being one, is not fully accessible. We're having to work with them. They have a roadmap towards accessibility, which we monitor and work with them on a regular basis. We are talking to other testing centers. We are, in a sense, playing off of one of the other, seeing which one gets more accessibility features built into them the quickest, in a sense. And there is the Pearson is right now what we're looking very closely at. We're under contract. So we'll go into an environment which is, we know, is not fully accessible. So we make accommodations and we ensure that the individuals with disabilities that are taken, or anybody that needs accommodation on the exam, get those accommodations. And we that's definitely something that we do. But it is frustrating, no question about it. It's not just with our testing center. We wanted to launch a volunteer and mentoring program this past year. We weren't able to do it because the platform that we were hoping was going to be accessible didn't turn out to be accessible. So we are always constantly in discussions with these companies. The only other option would be to do a homegrown, develop our own testing platform, which we have discussed and looked into. And we do have a timeline that if we don't see these these testing centers get more accessible in a period of time, we'll have to do something like that, which is a huge undertaking for a relatively small nonprofit. But we are very aware of it, and we're monitoring it, and we're being very proactive in letting them know how we feel about this. And so that's where we're at right now with that. And as we get closer to a better solution, we'll definitely let our members know.
So thank you. And I also want to add that it's the same in IAAP as what we're doing in the standardization work, where I am now responsible for the joint working group, or at least I'm chairing the work. I'm not responsible for everything, but you can kind of choose when the market isn't there for you. You can either say, okay, nothing works, so we do nothing. But sometimes you just need tools, and if there's not something accessible on the market, you can also use your purchasing power and try to post requirements there and RFIs and try to move the market in your direction. I mean, I think that is also something that should be. There's a value in that we are kind of, but different organizations and public sector, not least, because they have an enormous purchasing power to really require accessibility and push the market players to create something that is better. Because there are not only in this with testers, but also in many other sectors there, or kind of pieces of tools and solutions, there are no one who are providing something accessible, and the only way to change that, I think, is to go out and talk to the market players and tell them that this is what we want and this is what we need. So that's also something IAAP is trying to do, trying to actually push the market in the right direction. So another question is, how can IAAP EU help de facto innovators and researchers with their innovation or research? Which tools are available for that? And it kind of connects into the previous session as well. And well, IAAP and IAAP EU specifically, we don't have the magic stick to do better research or to bridge the gap in communication and all of the other issues that we talked about. But what we can do is to provide a fantastic community of experts and really kind of a stick in the ground in many different places in the market, and making sure that we work with all our stakeholders, because we have so many different kinds of organizations and types of categories of professional roles in our organization. So I think we can really support research, but of course we don't have the funds to kind of initiate research ourselves. We can have the idea, or we can promote, and we can try to support in all ways we can. We are also rather good grant writers, I would say, so we can also support in that way to make it happen, but we don't have any specific tools for making sure that research is moving forward. So we also got a question about the EU membership. So how will the EU membership be different as a private sector CPAC with Global Corp and IAAP member? I'm interested in learning more and staying current with the EU. So this is where things get a little bit complicated. So we are a global organization and we have chapters in some regions and countries and language areas, but the EU initiative is kind of an umbrella thing currently. And so far, everything we do at the EU level has been just supporting and providing free of charge extra benefits, so to speak. So if you become a member in a chapter or at the global level or in EU, you get the same benefits. If you are also a member of, for example, the German chapter, then you will get more benefits, more local benefits from them, because they have also done translations and loads of things, and they have local meetups. So everyone gets the same globally. And if you're interested in the EU support we provide, that doesn't cost anything extra. You get everything that everyone else gets, but you can also apply for subscribe to the newsletters and the policy updates and the webinars and things like that. So it's just the kind of the localization of IAAP is just an extra bonus, so to speak, for some regions, or where we provide a little extra because we feel our membership needs it. I don't know if you want to add something to that, Christopher.
I think you covered this, Susanna. The only thing I would say is that we are working real hard as part of our strategic plan. We have a 3-year strategic plan to work on translations of exams into different languages, as well as professional education, including webinars, So we've moved quite a in the last 2 years, quite a far away in that area. The German chapter has worked with us on 2 of our exams, translating them, and we're working on a Spanish one, and we're working on an Arabic translation of one of our certifications. So we're aggressively looking at how we can localize our benefits.
Yeah. So, and what are the what will we? I mean, if we look like 3 or 5 years ahead, where do you see IAAP? Where are we then as an organization? What have we achieved? What's the kind of long-term goal?
Well, I mean, I think we have definitely kind of metrics that we want to reach regarding expanding our footprint from the accessibility professional. You know, we want the more people that we can support in gaining education as well as certification, the better off we're going to be. And the numbers look good right now. We, as I mentioned earlier, we're seeing more of an interest in being a part of the community. So I think, yeah, the goal is to expand and make sure that we're doing it appropriately in the right manner.
Okay, thanks a lot. I think that was the questions we had from the audience as of today, and I would like to wrap up. But I did get a question about Greenland, so I did made a comment about the map. And yes, Greenland, Iceland, the Faroe Islands are all part of the Nordics, of course, but we don't have any members in Greenland yet. So that was what I was referring to, and I would really like to go to Greenland to look for members very, very actively, maybe sometime. But they are already covered. So before we leave, I would like to make a little bit of marketing, because this is, of course, not the only thing happening. We are also doing the M-enabling in the US in October. So if we could have that, yes. So on the 24th to 26th of October, the M-enabling summit is coming up again, and it's in Washington, DC. And this is, I believe, one of the biggest or most interesting conferences, and it has been postponed and being online and so on during the pandemic, and now we're really eager to meet everyone again. And some of the sessions, I believe, is also possible to reach online. Christopher, help me with that. What's exactly the package that you can get if you don't travel to the US?
Yes, some of the actual sessions will be recorded and put up on our YouTube, the M-enabling YouTube account, within 3 weeks after the event.
And so the M-enabling is run by G3ICT, but there's also a specific kind of strand for IAAP, not only for members, but for all conference participants, of course. So IAAP has a really strong presence this year at M-enabling. So that's really something we're looking forward to. And we are also planning to do a European M-enabling forum again next year. We actually planned to do that already this autumn, but because we had the big event before the summer, we didn't really have the bandwidth to make another one very close to that. So, but stay tuned. I hope and think we will have a European M-enabling forum early 2023. At least that's what we are planning for now. So I really want to thank everyone. I don't have the names of all the interpreters and captionists, but thank you for your fantastic work during the whole day, specifically our Czech friends who have increased the number of participants, live participants from that part of Europe with, I don't know, I think more than 100%. So that's amazing, which means that captions kind of rule. And I think that's really good. And also everyone else who has helped us working with this, of course, fantastic speakers, panelists, the team in the US. Thank you very much to all of you. I know you have been up since awfully early this morning. So thank you everyone. And of course to our sponsors, Site Improve, Crawford Technologies, and the University of Theresias, who are making it possible for us to make these events without charging anyone for it. So thanks a lot to all of you. And I hope to see you soon in some meetup or drop-in or webinar or event or something else. So take care, everyone, and keep up the good work. Bye-bye.